get it. And here's another one. This is why the female religious covert narcissist can't stand the Sigma Empath, because a lot of them, if you can't quote a Bible verse or make whatever you're speaking about into a Bible verse, then they want to try to make it or think of it as the devil. But the problem is, if you look at a lot of these covert female religious narcissists, they have a checkerboard past. I mean, if you look in, you ain't gotta look hard, you know, you'll see some things that aren't adding up to the message that they're trying to get across. See, I like how I did that again. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. If it wasn't for y'all, this wouldn't be possible. Continue to hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe and join the tribe. I'm putting out, I'm gonna drop a few short ones on here, but I want to bring this up and talk about it quickly. See, here's the thing. The Bible is definitely a great source for information, but the Bible is also being used by covert narcissists to hide behind, and to have, they always like to hide behind something, right? They have to hide behind a degree, hide behind religion, hide behind the Bible. And this way, they don't have to worry about their character, you know what I'm saying, being, you know, the thing that everybody use to judge what kind of person they are. They'll just be like, oh, they're quoting Bible verses, they must be good. Or, oh, okay, they're talking about Jesus all the time, they must be good. That's not necessarily the case all the time. You know, again, some of the worst people out there are the Bible thumpers. You know, they think because that Bible's in their hand or they can quote any Bible verse at any given time, they're not some of the biggest sinners out there, you know? And that's the problem that I have with a lot of them that are religious. It's just, I can't stand to listen to somebody talk like they're better than other people. You know, regardless of somebody's past, you're not better than somebody else. So when I hear these Bible thumpers judging everyone but themselves, and, you know, all the things that we've heard about from the church or people that hide behind the Bible, things that they've done, you know, you really don't have some pedestal to stand on to be judging everybody and everything else they do. You know, you want to get along with them, but they just do stuff that, you know, reminds you of why you stepped away from the church in the first place, just overly critical of everyone else without having any anecdotal type of information to make it relatable to you. I see a lot of prophetic word people in here that know how to balance it out and they're able to relate to all people. But when you're a Bible thumper and no one's even able to relate to you, you know, and you're just on here, you know, not just preaching, but just, you know, quoting verses of the Bible. I don't listen. No one's perfect out here, okay? So you got to be really careful when you're passing judgment on, and this is why I always say narcissists, because if you haven't noticed the pattern, a lot of these female covert narcissists, they poke and pry. They put you on a pedestal so they can rip you apart, you know what I'm saying, worse than they do anybody else. They nitpick, they look for what they believe to be small errors in your personality, and they try to exploit them, or they try to make it known to you without saying it to you directly, right? Maybe hoping that you'll pick up on it, or maybe hoping that you don't, just, you know, shading you without you even knowing. So these kind of people are these church-going people, and these people that thump the Bible. You know, every little, if it doesn't go along with whatever they're taught in their church, then they have a problem with it. And they're really not open-minded enough. But then they'll get on here and judge everybody else and tell everybody else. You got to calm down with that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to calm down with that kind of stuff, because you're not able to relate to certain people. And, you know, they'll complain about some of the most silly stuff. Like, you know, they'll chastise anybody for example using angel numbers, you know what I'm saying, but then they're using something similar to it from the Bible, but, you know, it goes by a different name because it comes out the Bible. Therefore, see, if you can't find a way to make whatever God teaches you into light, then you don't get to just bask in what's assumed to be the light side. Anything that you touch as a light worker should be light. So to chastise anybody for using angel numbers as opposed to calling them whatever they call it, that's goofy silliness. That's silliness. That right there is another reason why you just, these people, man, once they get that Bible in their hand and they get a couple people and they feel like they got a ministry, it's on to judging everybody and being overly critical where it doesn't even make any sense. See, someone was to take that judgment finger and turn it around on some of these people. Some of them having kids out of wedlock. Some of them having multiple kids out of wedlock. You know so is it only selective about how we want to pick and poke and pry at nitpicky things, or are we going to nitpick and poke and pry at everybody to include ourselves, and small things or things that you're trying to make sure no one looks at or whatever? Make those points, come to light as well, and talk about how we need to make sure that we're not out here having children out of wedlock, or, not in a union with somebody, as in marriage, before we're having children with them, right? You got to talk about everything. You can't poke and pry about whatever and say such and such is of the devil. I really believe having children out of wedlock is of the devil. And if you haven't, 555 on the timer as I say this, and angel number, and if you have a problem with that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you have some problems you need to work through. You have multiple kids out of wedlock. I don't believe that's of God. I don't believe that. So again, we have to, that's why I don't try to, say anything about anybody, because people that try to judge me, if I was to turn that finger around and judge them based off of just things that I can just basically see, basic things, it'd make them want to rethink their life. They'd be questioning stuff every time they look in the mirror. So you have to be really careful while you're doing these kind of things. So if you have a friend and they're really into the Bible and they're a Bible thumper, make sure they're an open-minded type of religious person. And you guys hit that like button. Hit that like button, share the live, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good person or a bad person. But what I would do is see what kind of character they are. Do they judge everybody? Are they gossiping about people when they're not around you? When they're not around them and around you? Because if they're doing that, they're doing the same thing to those other people about you. You know what I'm saying? Do they seem judgmental, like they feel like they're perfect, and then they start quoting, verses from the Bible, but their checkered past, and they've done things in the past to where, it would shame, whoever's listening to them right now. So it's like, you got to really chill out on that kind of stuff. So, I got to point you guys out. I'm pointing out every kind of covert female narcissist I know. And the religious ones also, don't make it seem like a lot of y'all are these innocent, so I don't do it. No, a lot of y'all will be at the club Friday night, and then, doing things that doggone well that you probably don't want to step into the church Sunday morning and confess to, but you'll be right there in church on Sunday. So I don't, doing these things to somebody like me out of wedlock. So I don't want to hear, you have to calm down, is what I'm saying, all right? So just pay attention to these religious, covert, female narcissists. And ladies, make it apply if it's a male. I specialize in women, heterosexual women, so I can't really help you. But if it relates and it sounds familiar, there are males out here that operate in feminine energy. We have names for them, but I don't want my video to get flagged. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? So listen, all I'm saying is this. Just because you belong to a church or a ministry, just because, you've flipped the Bible and your ministry believes in moving a certain kind of way, that doesn't mean that that's the right kind of way, and that doesn't mean that that's God's way, okay? It's your perspective, it's your interpretation, you know what I'm saying, and that's it. So if other people that are, all you should care about is that people are moving in God's light, and they're doing things with the purpose of doing it for God. Trying to overly critique people on goofy things like that is not a smart move, because once, somebody starts opening up, a little bit into what you do and looking at, it's like, this doesn't look like some saint that needs to be talking about angel. Now, this somebody that needs to, kind of chill out a little bit. We're all a, work in progress, So again, if you're out there and you're using certain tools to do what you need to do, but you're doing it for the right things, whether it's tarot cards, whether it's crystals, whatever, you mentioned angel numbers, or you mentioned whatever the opposite of that is from the Bible, whatever you're using, right? Don't let somebody ever judge you or make it seem like what you're doing is wrong and it's automatically wrong. Again, it can be looked at as a woman that has children out of wedlock, no matter what change she's going through afterwards. Back in the day, they had a name for them and they were treated a certain kind of way, period, point blank, regardless of the healing journey they go on afterwards. You weren't healed whenever you were making those babies. So we need to go ahead and slow down, rethink. That's why I don't never let no one that says something to me, especially a Bible thumper, bother me. It's like, I could probably just look at your family photo and be able to tell a couple of few reasons why you shouldn't be talking to me crazy right now. You know, but again, some people don't have the sense enough to know, and that's why I'll never change. I don't care if I have 1 million subscribers, 1 million followers. I'm the same dude. I'm the same dude. I don't change. You know, like man, my bloodline, like the way I feel about my mom and everything. I could never change who I am because I have people that follow me or whatever. The reason why I got people to follow me is because I'm just being who I am. So these people that seem like they start getting a following and then they start just getting real judgmental, and this is narcissistic tendencies. And the more they try to put up a mask and seem like they're a saint, or every time they mention something about what they did when they were messing up, they have to follow it with a but, or I've learned so much. You can't even take accountability for what you did without following it up with what you done. We don't care what you did to heal after it. Just make mention of what you did. Let us marinate on that for a little bit. They don't want you to do that. They'll say, yeah, I did this, and then right after that, but I learned, and we didn't even get to marinate on what you did. You ain't giving us enough detail on what you did. You know what I'm saying? You're too, ready to jump and give us an excuse and put your mask on and cover up everything. I got my food orders ready, man. I think they're about to deliver it early. Tell me 5 o'clock. You want to deliver the food early? Anyway, I got a food order coming, you guys, so I got to get off of here. But, you know what I'm saying? Just pay attention. What I do is always mention my stories and see if you guys can relate. I never get on here and tell you guys what to do because you're grown people, and I respect grown people too much to be telling them what to do as a grown person. I just make recommendations and tell you what I do, and, if I were you, you know what I'm saying, this would be a great idea. But some of these people get on here and they start talking too much as if they're your mammy or your pappy or whatever, and somebody's got to bring them back to reality. Listen, all of y'all, rose this AM, did what you needed to do to be an adult today, so salute to that. And anyone that wants to talk to you like you still need to learn how to wipe your butt, blow your nose, and brush your teeth, should not be respected, and they shouldn't really have any impact on you in your life whatsoever. I never listen to anyone that starts off you. If I see a title of a video that says you need to, I automatically swipe. I don't need to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me just being a Sigma and going, I don't need to do any of that stuff. But, that's how I feel about it. Also, really quick, the next one, hey, what's going on, buddy? And it's Porsche. What you do, buddy? Drop top Porsche, big dog, And also, before I get off of here, ladies, the next one I'm crashing and crushing is going to be the female covert narcissist content creator. That way I can just bubble you all into one and cook you up in one video instead of making separate ones for the not so cute content creator narcissist, the wannabe content creator narcissist. I just put you all together and just cook you all in one video, right? Because you're all content creators. So you're all kind of doing the same thing. You're all doing different narcissistic tactics. You all make mention of certain things that don't need to be mentioned. You all say stuff to either try to get under someone's skin or just overly critiquing someone like the monitoring spirits that you are. So what I don't do, I'm not gonna crush you like I would do one of the males and call you out by name. But when I make mention of certain specific things, you goofies will know which lady I'm talking about. I'm sorry, female I'm talking about, and you can address yourselves, right? You shouldn't be looking at somebody's lips so hard that you're noticing when they seem like they're lubricated and when they seem like they're not. See, that could be a trap set up to see who's looking at me really too hard and who's not. So now I know who's looking at me too hard in the lips. What I want to say to that is, you're not that bad looking in the face, but I prefer my ladies, because it looks like you're in your 20s, maybe early 30s, whose boobs are not in the condition of someone in their 60s. They should not be drooping all the way down to your navel. So as you're overly critiquing and looking too close and nitpicking, if I were to start nitpicking, I'm trying to tell you, you would be rethinking life. You'd be wearing turtlenecks. You'd be wearing the best lift-up bra you could find, because you can't hide those. Listen, I'm a booby connoisseur. I'ma see them. Once I see them and I see the gravitational pull going on with them, you can't, I can tell, even if you try to, scooch them up, they're gonna have that extra loose in the top, like, they're just gonna bounce. Listen, man, Y'all need to go ahead and chill out with that stuff. You know what I mean? If I get on here and my lips are dry, I'm probably fasting. If you want to be in my mouth, deal with my lips when they're dry, and deal with my lips whenever I have, you know, whatever I got going, because I just ate. So, you know, after I eat, I do whatever I do with my health stuff that I take that I don't want to mention because somebody will make a video about it or whatever. But y'all do too much, man. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are next. I'll cook you up in your own video where you're doing too much while looking like you could go for some of the work that you're trying to mention that somebody else do. You know, stop reading too much into what someone says. Stop looking for every error that somebody makes. Like, oh, he messed up in what he said just now. Oh, he stuttered over his word just now. Chill out, man. Oh, it seems like he's forgetting everything that he's saying. You don't know if that's part of the charisma I'm trying to show off on here, if I'm really forgetting. You don't know none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea. But if you were a real entertainer or whatever, you probably would understand. But you people are just on here looking for imperfections and showing who you really are. Wondering why you can't get nowhere and will be nobody that just makes goofy content online that nobody really watch. I'm just gonna be real with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not, there's no one alive for you to be online looking at that hard and trying to come up with different little things to nitpick about. Especially when some of y'all, even when y'all are trying to show the little that you do show in your videos, you're showing too much. And it's like, ugh, chill out, man. Chill out. I'll cook y'all up any day of the week. I set traps and y'all fall for it. I sit back and don't say nothing so that you don't think that I'm watching anything at all. But if you're watching me, you're popping up in my feed. I told you I'm an engineer, the algorithm. So if you're watching me, I'm gonna watch you for a second. And if you make mention of a trap that I just set, I'm gonna go ahead and say something about it. Y'all are ridiculous, man. I could get out here every day and have my lips all lubricated up to make you get all wet. I'm not worried about you. When I say I'm fasting all together. If you can't respect that and you're looking for someone to look all juicy lipped, you know, like whatever you ladies want or whatever at all times, you need to go somewhere else. I'm not here for that. I'm not fake like that. Y'all are goofy. Y'all are super goofy. You know what I mean? And I set traps all the time. This is how I know who's watching me. And then what I do is I secretly watch them, get caught up on their videos and be like, okay, built this archetype about this cornball. You know what I'm saying? I know how to move. You know what I mean? And I don't say nothing. And I let her continue to drop videos thinking I'm not watching. See, this is how I am able to come up with all this information that I'm giving you guys about how to move dating-wise. And you guys are just like, oh, he seems like he's, no. How am I able to come up with all this stuff that's ahead of the game if I don't know how to look at all these scenarios from a bird's eye view? I'm literally using what I was taught in the military and working at the White House, but I'm using it on a social level. So I'm able to give you military grade, you know, analytical information and how they move to the White House level from a guy that just lives in a cabin in the mountains of Asheville. You know what I'm saying? Hidden in plain sight. I'm a whole gym over here. I'm showing you how people move when they work for the White House. They move in their mind. Everything is done in their mind. While y'all are talking about these politicians and things of that nature and how slow they are, they're still 100 times faster than the average person because you have no idea the amount of information they're getting all day long from different sources. You know, and they got different people to organize that. And then those people got to be organized by somebody. And then those people organized by somebody. Then the information gets to the lead person. You know what I mean? And then they're getting this all day long, right? So they don't, people are like, oh, how is this person? I was there, I worked for the White House. I know how to move, I know how to think. So, you know, you guys are getting really good information in real time, you know, about how women are moving, how women are thinking, because I'm able to look at things that they're doing. All these goofies that like make content off of me, they go into the pot as well. Every female that decides to be in my realm and in my energy, I just take her information and watch her content, build profiles off of them. The women I interact with, build profiles off of them, compare the notes, and then give the notes to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Raw information in real time, fed right to you, man, from the mountains of Asheville. And you know that what I'm saying is true because everything I put out ends up being regurgitated from some other platform. So I'm obviously the source they go to get the latest information, and I'm getting information from my haters that are online consistently watching and then trying to be clever about how they project their hate towards me. And I'm looking at it, putting it in my notes like, wow, this lady been doing this for about 8 months. She see I don't pay her no attention, and she got like a lisp and everything, but she's still over here running her mouth. Man, persistent on this narc. Put that in the notes. I put that in the notes. I don't take nothing personal. These cornballs don't know me. But for them to put this kind of effort into doing all this stuff towards me lets me know that a man like me makes a lot of difference, and it bothers these demons in these women so much that they form whole agendas and campaigns to try to destroy you. But you're just a man of God. You're moving with God. You're just calling out the obvious of how the devil's moving. If they weren't moving with the devil, then it wouldn't be a problem. So what they do is they can't stand hearing you, but they love how you look. I'm watching my haters. Watch me. They love how I look. They love my lips. They love my cheekbones. They love my eyes. They love all of it, man. They can't get enough. And these are my haters online. So I take whatever they say good. I take it in a note, step up my Riz game. And then whenever they're talking junk, I take some of that stuff in consideration. Not as in constructive criticism, just, wow, this hater is going to that length to find something that she can't like about me, to where she's trying to make it seem like I'm absent-minded. You know, why would you? Because that's the way I perceive or I come across online. Listen, whenever I'm on here entertaining people, I'm entertaining people. If you are not tapped in enough to know that, then that's your problem. But once you allow yourself to show your arrogance and your ego, I'm going to put you in a category. Like, how dare this cornball, this person really doesn't think. This is somebody that sees something and makes an assessment off of very little information. That's a fool. You know what I'm saying? So you can be a somewhat cute fool. It don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? So listen, while y'all are running around just trying to do what you do and listen, all the men are taking notes. We're consolidating notes and we're moving accordingly. So while you're over here hating on me, what I'm doing is taking the information from your hate, I'm documenting it, and I'm putting it out to the rest of the men, so that even the guys that you probably would date in your local area hopefully will see content from me or guys that are talking like me, and your ass is grass, so you no longer can get those guys either. You can't sit there and run this maneuver on them. You can't try to like watch them from a distance, be in a monitoring spirit, and then whenever you're around them, say little slick things to make him think twice about it, to kind of chip away his self-esteem, just a little piece at a time. No, he's gonna be like, this fool is gaslighting me. This chick is running her mouth for this chick is volunteering information no one asked for. This chick is looking at me a little bit too hard. Why would she even say something like that? Shall we do that to her as well? Will she be able to handle that level of criticism? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer. You know, ain't about this video going viral. I'm hoping that these haters are watching this so they can know how Sigma moves and how Sigma thinks. All this cornball stuff that y'all do to try to get under someone's skin, no, we use it for analytical information so we can inform the rest of the men. And we're moving like a unit. If you haven't noticed, all men are. So whatever information is getting put out, they're like, you know what, that sounds about right. And instead of them being men that let their ego get in the way, they listen to it, it sounds right, they don't care where it comes from, and they take advantage of it. You know, they cross notes, cross reference, like, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Shit, we're gonna roll with it. And we all roll with it. And we all make sure it makes sense to us before we use it. That's why I make sure I put out information they can use for notes. So it's over for y'all, man. All this goofy gaslighting. Gentlemen, any woman you're talking to, if you initially meet her and she starts making little jokes, and she don't have no respect for you. She shouldn't be making any jokes or cracking she's taking little jabs at you to already establish, you know, who's gonna be the dominant one, who's gonna be the submissive one in the relationship. She's poking at you already, letting you know, I'm gonna poke at you all your life. I'm gonna poke at you all your life, and I'm gonna take away your pride a little bit at a time. No, she's not. You know what I'm saying? You send her packing, or you get the cheeks and then you send her packing. Either way it goes. Always play the fool to play the fool. I'm serious, y'all. Stop trying to prove yourselves to these females. A lady, you ain't got to prove nothing to. She already knows the man that she sees. But a female, let her think whatever she wants to. Let her think that you're stupid. Let her think that you don't see what she's doing. Let her think whatever she wants to. You know what I'm saying? It makes no never mind. It changes nothing. This is a person who thinks that she has more of an effect on people and random people than she really does. So the way to teach her a lesson is let her run her mouth and all that. And whenever you're done dealing with her, just walk away from it like it's nothing. It'll crush them, man. It'll crush them every time. You know what I'm saying? So listen, look, I'm really good at narcissistic awareness stuff. I dealt with, you know, a narc for 9 years. Before her, I dealt with another narc for a couple years. Before that, I dealt with a narc. Yeah, I didn't learn my lesson, okay? I didn't learn my lesson, but I had some healing to do. So, you know, I healed on my shadow self, and then I realized, man, look at all these tactics that these women be using. A negative, not gonna happen. I don't need for any female to tell me what she thinks I need to work on. Work on yourself. Whatever it was that drew you to me, then use that to be what you find attractive about me and keep it trucking. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing else. I don't give a damn what you think or whatever I need to work on. You found something attractive about me that made you want to pursue me in the first place. That's why Sigmas have them come to you. See, they play on the way society, you know, runs dating. So when you approach them, even though they want you to, they act like they don't. So they can say, I'm tired of these guys approaching us. We don't approach them no more. They got to approach us. So if they start acting funny, we can always say, hey, you approached me. You know what I'm saying? You approached me. I didn't die. You approached me. What? You know what I'm saying? Why are you playing? They can't do it no more. That's why they're mad at us for doing this, guys. They can't stand that. They're like, man, now we can't even use that no more. Well, wait a minute. I thought y'all didn't want us to approach you. Well, it's just a, but we don't care, man. You're not making any sense. You know what I'm saying? You're babbling at this point because you had it great, you messed it up, and now it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Don't be mad at us. You know, we picked up on games. Like, all right, go back. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta chase y'all. All we gotta do is go to the gym and get a six-pack. Y'all gonna stare at us no matter what we look like in the face. Get a six-pack, get our money up. It's a wrap, man. Y'all be, man, listen, fellas, don't fall for it. Just because society and these females are saying one thing, look at what your eyes are showing you. Your eyes are showing you a different story. Get in shape and walk around with your shirt off and see how many women are looking at you with their mouth open. I don't care what you look like in the face. They ain't gonna be looking at your face. Best believe that. Start wearing clothes that fit you, not stuff that look like leggings, but stuff that fits you, and get in shape. Man, that'll change the game automatically for you. You know what I'm saying? On King David, I wouldn't lie to you. I would not lie to you. You look good. Now, see, one of y'all, one of these females that watch me be like, see, he gets distracted, blah, blah, blah. That's all part of the game, baby. It's all part of the character, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about me. I can do that and get back to the topic, or I can just be like, oh man, I can't really remember. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what I do. You see what I'm saying? See, people don't understand how to be charismatic and how to be an entertainer, because it's not just about getting on here and doing a job. You know what I mean? You have to make sure that you're, you know, you got some type of charisma about you, some kind of personality about you. You want people to come back. You don't want people to just come and get information. Come on, man. You're building with people. You know, I don't know how you tell stories or how you live your life, but I'm a storyteller. You're going to be thoroughly entertained listening to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. That's what I does. But listen, y'all, appreciate y'all. Do me a favor, hit that like button. I don't see the like button getting hit at all, but again, sometimes YouTube does that where I can't see it. Hit that like button, join the tribe, subscribe, share the live like y'all been doing, share it to Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You guys keep doing what you're doing to Facebook. That's super dope. I'm seeing some of these shared on Facebook. Appreciate y'all. Y'all the dopest to ever do it. You're the reason why the channel is growing. You're the reason why I get on here multiple times a day, even when I probably shouldn't, and drop more content, because, you know, I can feel the energy of the tribe. Everybody else can. And since I'm a representation of you guys, if I drop the videos, other people are watching it, and we're influencing and we're making change. All right. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Remember, I'm your brother.